Hi, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get Deep, where we are getting so deep with the celebrities and artists that you love every week. Today's episode, we have special guest Brita Filter from RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm so honored to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course, bitch. I love you.
I love you too. I'm like, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. So you're our first guest. It's very exciting to have you here. I couldn't be more honored. And today we're just going to get really deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much for waking me up early this morning to fucking be here.
You're welcome. It was a very long walk down the hallway.
I know. Thank you. Brandon is my roommate, for those of you that have no idea.
Yep, we moved in about 6 months ago together, and it's just been so lovely ever since.
That's right. But we've known each other for much longer.
We've known each other for 13 years.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like literally a child.
A gaby.
A little gaby. Just a little new gaby coming to the city.
That's right.
Learning everything.
A little baguette, if you will.
A little, as our roomie Shannon would say.
You're right.
So I want to talk about how amazing you are first before we get deep, and then we can pull out the tissues.
I hate this. I'm horrible at taking compliments and shit like that.
Honey, you're going to talk about yourself.
Oh God.
I just want to say, like, as myself and being an artist in the industry for the past 15 years, I just think that you are absolutely amazing, and all the work that you do in politics and for the gay community is such an honor. And I really appreciate you for everything that you do. And I know that thousands of others do as well. So can you tell everyone a little bit about the political things that you do for our community?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you know, after Drag Race, it was really important for me to make a decision on like what route I was going to take, whether it was going to be like, you know, theater or politics and you know, at that crossroads, right before Drag Race started airing on my season, I decided that I was going to, you know, I did the Women's March in Washington, D.C., and they asked me to speak and to host an event with them. And so I made I made headlines because there was this like gay kid in the street that was going against these anti-LGBTQ plus protesters. And they were in the street all by themselves with a tambourine, and they were speaking up against these anti-LGBTQ plus protesters. And I was in full drag, and I told my manager and the people that I was with, I was like, we have to go over there and like help this kid out. I was like, because look at their courage and their braveness. And I was like, and I'm in full drag. I was a little, because I was like, if this little kid can do it, I was like, I sure as hell can go over there and join them. And so this big crowd formed around us, and the video went viral, and you know, it made its way to the Washington Post and whatnot. And so I felt really good doing it. And, you know, it felt really good sticking up for someone else. And, you know, the fact that it made headlines, I was like, this is the route that I need to go. It felt really good helping out other people and standing up for my community. So that's kind of how all of this started. And so I made a decision that like politics and sticking up for our community and really, you know, taking drag back to where it was with Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, that's what I wanted to do. And so it kind of just stuck that way. And I've been doing it ever since, you know, hosting galas and fundraisers. Most recently, I just did Fascism is a Drag, which I did a couple nights ago. It was our second round of doing that, and held this giant fundraiser for Refuse Fascism NYC, and raised a whole bunch of money. So, and what they do is, you know, we're trying to get Trump out of the White House. And what we need to do is get people in the streets protesting, and we meet at the LGBTQ plus center in New York City here once a week. And, you know, it costs money to rent out these rooms and to get flyers and posters and banners and to, you know, make it aware that in order for us to get him out of the White House, we need consistent protesting and in the streets to really make this happen. And so That shit costs money, honey. And so it's very important for us to continue doing this. But like on a political level, I mean, I've done many things. I've been invited to the White House by President Biden.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And, I've met many political leaders. I've been invited by Congress to go speak to other politicals, people in Congress and whatnot to bring certain things to awareness. I think that it's very important for me to be in drag because the sparkle and the glamour really, it brings attention to things. And once I get them in with the sparkle and the glamour, then they're able to kind of pay attention to what's actually important. And I can bring them in with my wittiness and my funniness and whatnot and the comedy. And then they kind of pay attention by that point. And so I feel like that's the interesting thing that I like to bring towards, politics and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. I mean, I don't want to go on about my resume and the shit that I've done, but like, yeah.
No, please. That's what you're here for. I would say that Brita is a part of you, right? So like doing it in drag, that is you. You know what I mean? That's who you are. That's who you've been for how many years have you been doing this?
It's 12 years now.
Oh my God.
I'm in the 6th grade.
Yes. And on top of that, you found your purpose. And I believe like even what they say in like recovery or therapy, they always say that like you need to have a purpose. And
Absolutely.
You finding that purpose, I believe is so magical because not many people know what their purpose is. And they're still trying to find that at 50, 60 years old. You know what I mean?
Bitch, watch out. 50, 60 years old. I just turned 40.
Well, I'm just saying, which is still fine. You're allowed to find your purpose at any age or stage in life, and you're allowed to change your purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you find one purpose doesn't mean you stay with that forever. And especially as an artist, it's all about reinvention, right?
You're right.
So, but finding that purpose, I mean, would you say that's helped you just continue growing and going in life, especially with everything going on in the world right now?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important right now. I mean, I just want to help people. That's like my huge goal right now. I mean, I've always just wanted to help people. I mean, anyone that's in need, I feel like that's what I do with my drag. When I first started drag, I remember being shunned away from like I didn't feel like I was complete in the gay community. I didn't feel like I had a group. I felt like I went to Hell's Kitchen. I remember the first bar I ever went to in the city was the Ritz. And I would go to the Ritz. I know, right?
Yeah.
And we all, I feel like all of us kind of had that moment at the Ritz where we do like that eye roll thing. And we're like, oh God, the
We're
Ritz.
like, oh no, girl.
Right, the Ritz.
But we still love it every now and again.
I still love the Ritz.
Yeah.
I still work at the Ritz.
Oh, absolutely.
And it has that like, that quaint little, it's messy, but it's like fun. And
if you want a little cute, messy night out, honey, which is what the gays deserve.
And you can just like go and like let loose at the Ritz and you're gonna have a good time. And you always kind of roll your eyes, but you're like, you're gonna dance your like little tail off at the Ritz. But when I first went there, I feel like, people were kind of side-eyeing me because I didn't have a six-pack and I was this like brown kid and everyone there was white when I initially went. This was like back in like 2007. And so I felt like I didn't have my group of people and my tribe in the gay community. And so I just felt like an outsider. So I really made it a point when I started drag that I didn't want anyone to feel like an outsider, especially at my shows.
You are very good at that, by the way.
Yeah. And like, I always want people to feel welcome. So like when I started drag, I wanted to make sure that every single person, no matter who they were, that they felt welcome in the space that I was hosting. And so I've always made a point of that to make sure that everyone felt welcome. And usually when I start my shows, I make sure to cheers everyone before the show starts because then it can be very intimidating. Baby, I am a Tongan woman. Like it looks like I should be playing football right now.
And just so everybody knows, this is like a 7-foot man in a wig, honey.
With the heels, baby. With the heels.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, I'm big stature. Even before this, I was like, Brandon, you want to sit on a pillow because you're looking a little smaller than I am.
I was like, honey, that's just who I am. I'm a little doll.
Absolutely. So like, I mean, it could be very scary coming to my show and like me just seeing me walk through and I can come off very intimidating. So I always want to make sure that people feel, comfortable at the gig, especially before I start, because if someone's just showing up to a gay bar for the first time and it's their first time and they're like, I want to see drag. And, I want to make sure that they're comfortable in the space because, being at a gay bar for the first time, it can be very intimidating. Because I remember how I was when I was there and I was like, oh God, I was like, people are, not only are they gay, but they're also hot and
Yeah.
sexy and beautiful. And then there's like this beautiful Amazonian princess that's
I
standing
know
right
that's
there.
right.
So, it's very important for me to make people feel welcome because I know how it is.
Yeah. I get it, girl. I can relate.
Like being on carpets and stuff and whatnot.
And
Like,
having any type of fame, and you got that Rue Girl fame, which is like, people can be intimidated. They can be scared to come up. And you do, I know, I have been to her shows quite a lot, probably for 12 years. And she does just have this welcoming energy about her that allows people to feel comfortable coming up to her. And that's a really rare quality to have. I think that's a part of being an empath, which I, as your close friend and roommate, know, but I want the world to know that, like, she's definitely an empath as well. And I'm an empath. And I just feel that when you have that, it's very hard, like to be in spaces like that, let alone be in full drag. I can't even imagine, I mean, I wear crazy outfits to red carpets all the time, but I can't imagine having like 20 pounds of pads on and 20-inch heels. I mean, I have lifts in my boots, but not 20-inch heels. So you do an absolutely fabulous job,
Thank you.
And I just kind of want to transition into talking about that fame, you know what I mean? And of course, like, I don't think either of us like call each other like A-listers, but we definitely have the gay fame. And I know that can get dark sometimes, especially, after you've been on a huge reality show. And I just feel like it's so misunderstood when people are on shows like that or have any kind of online fame. It's misunderstood where we are as human beings. And it's like, we are a literal human, right? And I feel like I want to dive deeper into that with you and have you talk a little bit about what it was like for you when you first got that fame and how it kind of impacted your life. And then what did you do to, kind of cope with all of that?
Yeah, I mean, my season of Drag Race was very different from most seasons of Drag Race, mostly because once our season came out, by episode 3, the entire world was on lockdown. By episode 2, since I have pre-existing conditions, I've always had really, really bad asthma as a kid, and I have many other pre-existing conditions on top of that. And thankfully, my mom is a respiratory therapist, and my stepdad is a pulmonologist. So like I got the lungs on lockdown, but they were like, you're coming home immediately and you're staying with us in Maine. And so like I watched all of my season from my parents' basement in Maine, instead of being in New York with my community and whatnot, because like, I was like, this is affecting everyone's lungs. I was like, I gotta be home with the parents, just in case something happens. I honestly thought that I was just going to be there for 2 weeks. Like no one knew what was going to happen, and it was going to be this giant, pandemic. So I didn't bring any makeup. I didn't bring any drag with me. I was kind of clueless on what was going to happen. I thought I was just going to go back to New York, but that wasn't the case at all. So I was just alone, and I didn't know what was going to happen during all of that. So I had a really difficult time. And the only thing I had was social media. It was my only way to connect with the rest of the world, along with everyone else. So like while the rest of my season and the girls from my cast were like painting online and talking to the internet, like I didn't have any of that. I didn't get to like express my art. And at the time, all I had really was drag. And that was like my expression. So like I didn't get to express myself in the way that I usually was expressing my art those days. And so I was just kind of doom scrolling and like watching the internet express their disdain for me. Because on also my season, the world was, Sherry Pie was also there, and she got you know, most of the world knows that she was edited out of our entire season because of what she did. So that's never been done before on Drag Race. And I mean, they even wrote that RuPaul even wrote that song, "Blame It on the Edits." And I'm sure she wrote it about me because I did blame it on the edit, because they did edit an episode. You know, there was an episode that came out in the UK that was different from an episode that came out in the United States, and they showed side by side because they didn't have time to edit it in the UK. And I did everything on my season with Sherry Pie. So you know, they needed to, you know, finagle things in a certain way. And so they made it look different. And so people blamed me on things. I mean, of course, I said things, and of course we get mad. And there was some things that I did in, you know, Untucked. And, you know, we get mad and, you know, under pressure, under pressure, I do act a certain way. And, you know, and we make mistakes. And, yeah, I regret acting that way, but you know, we're all human and we make mistakes and we apologize. And you know, maybe I should have apologized on camera, but I didn't. I was kind of frustrated and I was like, no, we can leave it alone. I apologized to her. We made up, but you know, the world didn't see that. And so unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But like the world got so mad at me, and they sent me so many messages, and all I saw were these messages. But also during my season, like it didn't help that certain judges on the show also went on their Twitter and just watched the episode and bashed me the entire time. I even went to the people who were in charge of the show and were like, "Hey, can you tell this judge to knock it off, because she's telling her millions of followers to come for me, essentially." And then I started getting so much hate mail from millions of followers and death threats, and people telling me that, like, if I see you on the one train, the train that I ride every day into the city.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
That like, if I see you on the one train, I'm going to push you into the tracks. Like, I was like, one, how do you know I ride that train? Two, like, I ride the train in drag because I believe in visibility. And I believe if someone sees me on the train, they're like, oh, I'm not going to be not afraid to ride the train because it's important for there to be visibility in this city, and be like, if she can do it, I can do it. If like a gay kid sees me riding on the train, they can be like, or a trans person, they can be like, I'm not afraid to be myself.
I'm safe.
I'm safe. If she can ride the train in this full glamour and in this wonderful outfit, then I am okay to be myself on the train.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think it's okay to ride the train. But like,
for those of you that aren't sorry to interrupt, those of you that aren't in New York City, the train is our main transport, and you cannot. I mean, you have major celebrities all the time taking the train because you cannot rely on a car all the time. You could be stuck in traffic for hours to go 1 mile. So taking the train is our main source of transportation, and secondary is buses. So these are very cramped spaces that can get a little scary at times for anyone, let alone somebody in full glam, drag, or makeup.
Well, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there were times where I was like, okay, I'm Brita Filter. Like, I should be taking a car right now. And I have believed in that. But like right now with our economy, like, girl, I'm poor as fuck. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't have money to take the fucking car every time. Right. Like, it's $60 sometimes to get to the gig. Like,
it's way too expensive.
Yeah, it's way too expensive. And I'm still doing bar shows. Like, if we're going to be honest and talk tea right now, like, I don't have gigs like I used to. Like, I'm still doing and getting paid the exact same amount before Drag Race to do these bar shows because I need to survive right now.
Right.
And so, like, I'm still getting paid the same $200 that I was making in 2017, even though I've asked for raises to do the same bar show. Yes, the economy and the bar scene is very different than when it was before the pandemic, and I understand that. And shows aren't as busy as they used to be. However, like, it costs $60 to get to the gig, and I'm still getting paid $200. The math ain't math, and so I got to take the fucking train.
Right.
So, I mean, I got off topic about things.
It's totally fine. These are real life things that people need to know. Like, that's the point of this podcast, right? The point of this podcast is to get deep into things with my celebrity friends or anybody that comes on as a guest to tell the world, like, what it's really like to be them. I feel like there's so much, and she talked a little bit, like Brita talked a little bit earlier about, you know, how it's like to be on a TV series or to even be on set in general. And I can relate to that because, like, I really don't think people realize the teams of people behind everything that you do. So even though I mainly model, you know, I'm still on full productions. You know what I mean? There is a team of people that rely on you to be there. And if you're sick or anything, you don't get to be sick.
Yeah.
This is the one day that they've decided that this is when, like, millions sometimes of dollars are being put into this production. And if you don't show up, they're going to find somebody else that will, or they just will never use you again and you'll pretty much be blacklisted, which is really unfortunate. But that still does exist, you know, like all of these companies and production houses and everything, like everyone knows each other. It's a very small world. So it's like there's a ton of pressure. And that's why, you know, like people would tell me, let me get deep for a second, you know what I mean? Like people would tell me like, oh, your life is so easy. You just stand behind a camera, you know?
Totally.
And that is not the reality. The reality is that it's a lot of pressure. People rely on you. People's salaries rely on you, you know, you to show up, and you have to show up. And even if you're depressed, like, last week, I lost a dear friend, and I'm still like, this is our production day. We're doing this. Like, I'm still going to show up because, you know, that's what I do. I'm a professional. You're a professional. I believe everybody that will be on as a guest is a professional, and that's why I'm so honored to have everybody that's going to come on the show on. But it's just...
Also, let me say for a second, it is so, like, it's not just standing behind a camera. It takes years of practice to, like, I am so bad at posing and like, being behind a camera and like taking pictures, and like for me to get my face correct, like it takes lots of practice, and like to be behind a camera and to like sell yourself and to like, you know, really
tell a story through
your fucking eyes. Like so like, I mean, if anyone were to ever I never realized it until like I had
until
to like,
you do it yourself.
Till you do it yourself, right. And you're behind a camera, and then you see yourself behind a camera, and you're like, oh fuck. Excuse me.
It's okay.
So like it takes a lot of practice and to know who you are from the inside.
Well, it's a genuine talent. Like models are artists as well.
Girl,
you know?
It is so hard. It is so hard because I still cannot master it. I mean, even with all this makeup on, like it helps. But like for me as a human, as Jessie, underneath all of this Brita, it is so hard for me to take pictures. Like I rely on like I got three things behind me, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this one, we're gonna do this one, and then if I want to look sexy, you got to be like, okay, just make love just think of having sex, and then just look that way.
No, that's literally, I have to tell you, that was literally how I learned how to pose the first time. Like my New York agent was like, so basically, you know, that time you had sex, that's how we want you to, you know, reenact through your eyes. And I was just like,
yeah, usually I just look crazy and I look like Jafar wants a cookie. Is usually it's like what it looks horrible. It looks horrible. Who did you
call yourself on the ride here when your wig was off this morning?
Oh, I look like Uncle Fester.
Oh my God.
On the way here. Totally.
I said, do you need a light bulb, sweetie?
Yeah. Totally. But like it is so difficult. It is so difficult. And it's an art form. It's just like me putting on all this. But I just wanted to give you credit there.
I really appreciate that. I mean, this is about you though, so I didn't want to talk about myself too much. I appreciate
totally.
it.
But like the way that you move your body and the different angles, like I'm a go-to hands on the hip type of girl. And I was like, I'm safe. I'm safe here. I know what to do. And then I just occasionally put my hand in the air and like, oh, good, we're a model.
But sassy that walk.
Yeah. But like, I just wanted to give you credit because it is very difficult. Like I can't even master it. So for the model girlies out there, baby, I see you. And those poses are killing it. And I'm trying to copy you.
Yeah. Thank you. Honestly, that's an honor. I want to get back to you and just talk about a little bit about what have you what do you do on your daily? Like, are you in therapy for everything? You know, because I know this industry is hard. Like,
Yeah.
and there's not one single person in this industry, even if they're just starting out, that can tell me that it doesn't cause mental angst or anxiety or depression or mood swings or whatever, because it is a very, very interesting industry where we are constantly judged. We put ourselves out there. Like, I can't ever, you know, not say that I didn't, because
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe we did, right? But it's like, you know, there's a lot that comes along in a healing process of it. I believe we all start out with this like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world. I can do whatever I want. I am somebody, honey. I can go be a mess if I want to. And then you realize that you can't.
Yeah.
And then you have to do some work on yourself.
Yeah, no, totally. No, I get you. You know, because of Drag Race, I have been in because of that experience and because of my season, the minute that I got off of the plane from filming my season, I immediately got into therapy. And I wasn't in therapy before that. I think the last time I was like when my parents got divorced. And so it was really important for me to get into therapy because that shit fucked me up, girl. And so I got into therapy because I knew that I needed it. And because we weren't able to talk to anyone while we were there. So I immediately got into therapy. And, you know, I didn't have insurance at the time, so I wasn't able to get on medication or anything until the pandemic. And which was gratefully right when my season came out. And I was able to get the care that I needed because of insurance and whatnot. I was able to get on Medicaid.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. Because I didn't have any shows at that time, and so my income stopped.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, it was hard. And my mental health slowly got worse and worse and worse. And at the end of my season, you know, I've never said this. I've said it on a different podcast, but never like on camera or anything. But in August of that season, you know, the producers of Drag Race, one of my specific producer, said that they kept on repeating. They said, you know, they would call me week after week per episode, and they would say, you know, they're like, you're going to have a lot of hate this week. They would warn me. And they would say, you're going to get a lot of hate this week.
Wow, that's crazy. What an insight into the production world.
Yeah, they said, you're going to get a lot of hate this week. But listen, once you get out there and you start performing, everyone's mind will change about you. Because you're a great performer and you're just so lovable when you're in person. And I was like, okay.
And I think that's kind of what's scary, right? Is like, you don't know what's like, because we're in such a digital age, we're looking at our phones, we're reading what people are saying, and it's scary. Like, some things people say is horrifying, and you feel like if you leave your house, you're like subject to whatever that person said about you and like maybe in harm's way. And really takes a lot to put yourself back out there and to go outside and to feel safe in your own home, you know what I mean? Because it is scary. You don't really know, even if it is like somebody faking it or just being a bully, like you just don't know. And to get that confidence to go out there and be like, you know what? I'm not letting this rule my life. I'm not going to stay inside because somebody doesn't like what I said or what I did. Because there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you said or what you did or how you acted or whatever. But there's also going to be tons of people that love you for who you are and what you said and what you did. And you might have changed somebody's life. You know what I mean? You might have helped somebody not, you know, end it all.
Yeah.
You know, by doing what you did or saying what you said, showing people that you are human and that they're human too. Because that's a big part of being an artist, right? Is that you're not doing this for you. You're doing this for that little kid that would have looked up to you, right? Like, we do this for them. We do this for that little Brandon and that little Brita or Jesse, you know, because they needed this. And I feel like if you agree, like, I feel like that's what we do this for, because like that was so scary being them, and we don't have to be afraid anymore. We
Yeah.
are strong, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, when they said, you know, they'll love you when you get out there and you start performing for them. But the thing is that like it was the pandemic and I was stuck in my parents' basement because unlike some of the other people from my cast who I was very adamant about keeping people safe. I mean, during the pandemic, my mom even left Maine and left me home while she went out because she works for the VA and she went to Austin, Texas because it got really bad there and was working in the ICU, saving people's lives and being with people while with people and their family couldn't be with them, holding their hands while they were dying from COVID. So like, I was very adamant about like people need to stay inside while other people were out there performing. Like I was against it. Like I was for saving people's lives. Meanwhile, people were just like out there partying and doing their thing. Other
That was
drag race
so
queens,
crazy to me.
So like she was like, when you get out there performing, people will think differently of you. But just to let you know, you're going to get hate this week. So that never happened.
Mhm.
And people just continued sending me hate. And then the show would come out in different languages,
Mhm.
in different countries. And so I knew that when that happened, because I would get emails of hate in different languages. Um, and like, I was like, emails, like this is a new thing, getting emails in different languages telling me to go kill myself. And so in August, after the season had already, showed the finale and I did the finale from my parents' house, I was at home in New York by this time and I tried to hurt myself and to like end it all. This was like once. I woke up like on my floor and I like didn't, I didn't end up happening. Thank God. But like I went to a friend's house for that month in upstate New York and stayed with them and tried to figure things out. I thought if I went to Hawaii for 8 months to be with my family, like that would fix things. And it didn't, but I was very glad to be grounded with my family. I ended up gaining 120 pounds while I was in Hawaii and came back to New York and didn't know who I was and, tried to do drag again, but I didn't know this body that I was in. And so I was just really depressed and it was really hard. And, I'm like, kind of I'm coming off of it. Like it's been 6 years. And helping other people and being in politics and all of this stuff, like it's helped, but I can definitely tell that it's like I've ignored a lot of things and I've ignored myself. Um and it's definitely been a journey. And I can definitely tell that I've like, filled up a lot of things, filled my life with like trying to help so many other people, but ignoring myself. So it's been hard. Um, I'm kind of going through it a lot right now. I can feel like I'm coming off of it. Um, it's in waves and it's hard, um, but
Can I come hug you?
yeah, of
Sorry.
course. No, I love you so much.
Love you too.
It's been hard, I've been having a hard like few I've been having a really hard month because as you know, I'm like transitioning out of drag or I don't know what I'm doing. My body isn't keeping up with me as it used to. Like I'm in a lot of pain. The fundraiser that I told you that I was doing, I had to do it out of drag.
So sorry.
No, it's fine. And I didn't want to do it out of drag. I know I was producing it and I was just going to do a number and hosting the event, but like the fact that I had to do it out of drag really upset me. But I'm in so much pain. I have a lot of people have this, but I have degenerative spine disease, but my last 6 vertebrae in my spine, because I did dumbass shit when I was younger to win competitions. But I have no
In
more
drag, your
in
career did
drag
this. Yeah.
in drag, yeah. But like I have no more cushioning in my last 6 vertebrae. And so I have no more cushioning around my nerves anymore. So I can't feel my legs or my feet. And so I have to
So
take
sorry.
nerve pills, a lot of them, 12 a day, so that I don't so that they don't fall asleep. They tingle and I can't feel them. And so it just I'm in so much pain, and it like my muscles are fucked up in my back, and every time I put on drag, it makes it worse. Like 10 times worse. So like I just me having this on right now, like I did it because it's important and because I love you so much.
I love you so much
And I
too,
just
and I
wanted
really appreciate
yeah,
you being
yeah,
here.
of course. And it's important. And
People need to hear this.
yeah, yeah. But I have to switch up my career because I'm hurting and I love this,
And that's scary.
but I hurt so much, and like there's things that I've been like putting off that I can't do physically because I'm in so much pain.
I'm so
And
sorry.
I don't like to complain to people, and I kind of just keep quiet at things, but like
No,
it's
babe, speak your truth. This is your
no,
truth,
no,
right?
no. I know. But
You're
just
not
like in
complaining.
life and situations, I'm also like starting a new trio show, and I've kind of been manifesting this, and it's really important. And I had this show called Soaked, which was before the pandemic, and it was like fully choreographed with me, Rose, and Laguna, and I'm kind of bringing it back with a new cast member because Rose left and lives in Texas now, but. I'm in rehearsals. We're rehearsing for a month before we open because it's going to be amazing. But like, I'm in rehearsals and I'm rehearsing for like 3 times a week to 4 times a week, and
also doing physical therapy.
yeah, physical therapy twice a week, and going to doctor's appointments. And
See, but you're making the steps. I think that that's something not a lot of people like even have the courage to do
but
is make
yeah,
those steps.
I mean, there's but like, she's the physical therapist is like, you're in a lot of like, you need to get a massage and you need to get acupuncture. But the thing is, like, the Drag Race bookings aren't what they used to be. And so all I'm doing is working these local gigs right now. And
Just like everything, it's oversaturated.
yeah, oversaturated, and I'm very grateful for these local gigs, but like these local gigs don't pay as high as these Drag Race bookings. And so like, and I'm grateful for them and I'm working, but the only way that I can make money right now is by doing drag, but my body, it just can't really do it. So I'm being forced to do these gigs, which I love, but like I'm having a hard time, but I can't get this massage therapy appointment or these acupuncture things because I have to pay my rent. So like,
Right.
it's not the same. And then I get these stupid messages from people still that are like, you deserve what you got. This is karma for you.
So disgusting.
Which is like, yeah, so
Meanwhile,
dumb.
those people are living in their mother's basement where their mother pays for
yeah,
everything.
I mean, I don't,
So-
I don't want to do anything like nasty to them or say anything
No,
silly.
absolutely not. But I'll say it.
No. Yeah,
I'm not afraid.
But it's just I mean, and I've been through so much therapy that like it's, as Jinx says, water off a duck's back. But like people like to think that like, that just because you're a Drag Race girl, you have this, just because I'm wearing
anybody
this.
that gets any type of small amount of fame, people automatically assume that you're rich. People assume that you should be in private jets and like, because that's what we grew up watching. But now fame is so like avant-garde. You know what I mean? Like we live in a whole new generation. Like Jessica from TikTok just blew up last night overnight, and now she's famous and getting $1 million deals, but that won't last more than a month.
Right.
So then she's got to take that $1 million and make it last for the next 20 years because that fame also affects getting a real 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So like that's things people don't see or know, and it's like I know that and because I know you and because we live together, I know that you have such a great foundation of friends that you call family, right?
Mhm.
And same. And I think that that's the only thing that we have right now that we can hold on to. It's not just us. I mean, we as the whole world, all we have right now is each other. So I just want to like stress that. It's like you need to hold the ones that truly care about you close, because genuinely we are going into darker times. And that's the scariest thing, if you don't have the ones that you love close by you or a good foundation. And even if you are still looking for that foundation, maybe it is right there where you are right now, you know, because sometimes we're always looking for more, right? We're always looking for the next big thing, the better friend, the better family member, instead of working on what we already have,
Mhm.
right? And I think that that's just such a like, we're lucky to have that. And I think that that's a great thing to focus on, is just having our friends and our family. And I really, really appreciate you coming on today. I cannot tell you what it means to me. And I know it took a lot to get into full drag at 5 a.m. this morning, to get ready for this and to wear the drag all the way here to do this episode. But I think that people needed to hear this. And
Yeah.
actually, I know people needed to hear this. And I couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah, I love you.
I love
Thank
you
you for
too.
having
I
me.
love you. And what can you tell everybody a little bit about your Fascism is a Drag and when the next show is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like there were so many people that wanted to be in Fascism as a Drag, this last iteration of it that I had. And so you know, it's very important for us. Things are getting worse in our country. And
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, and you know, it's very important that we
In the world.
yeah, in the world, and it's you know mostly to do because of our country. And so in order for us to you know resist and to fight back as a country, as a community, as a sane population against this authoritarian fascist regime, we have to you know get our community together. And I think it's very important for us as drag queens to get back to resistance and get back to protest what we're originally about and what like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera stand for. So there was a lot of people that originally signed up for this that like, you know, because there was a time limit and it wasn't an all day thing, I couldn't allow everyone to be in the show. So we're doing it again, and this time it's going to be April 22nd at Stonewall. And so this time it's going to be a little different. I'm doing it's going to be a fully realized theme show that I'm like writing, and I'm working with every single performer on their numbers. I'm artistic directing it with them, and it's going to be really great.
I'm excited. I can't wait to go.
If you follow at Fascism is a Drag on Instagram, the tickets are there, and it's going to be really wonderful. And it's benefiting Refuse Fascism NYC. So
Awesome.
find out all about it there.
And
yeah.
also, if, in case you guys didn't hear it, she is at Brita Filter on Instagram as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And also follow Let's Get Deep podcast, where we're getting deep with your favorite celebrities and artists. So deep, baby. And make sure to follow, like, subscribe, comment, and do all the other things like DM to your friends, DM to the channels, share it on Facebook, add the link to your Facebook, add the link to your friends, text the link to everybody, because we're going to get deep every week.
Yeah. Get deep inside
Thanks
me.
again for being here, Britta.
Yeah, of course. I love you.
I love you too.